Okay, I'm gonna be so spin fast because I've told this story to multiple people and I've already filmed it once, and it took me way too long. So I gotta dumb it down. I gotta cut it down. Whatever. Okay, so once upon a time, I started getting on dating apps and being bold and going on dates with boys. So the first boy, his name is Alton. He is a dick. Anyways, we went on a date. We didn't. He came over to my house and we watched a horror movie, and then we made out afterwards. That's the short version. And then we went to Taco Bell 1 a.m, like 4 days later, and hung out in my car for a little bit, and then he left on a trip and then ghosted me, and I was like, cool, that's great. And then the second guy was Michael, and I went over to his house at like 2 a.m. I know how it sounds, okay, but I did tell him, I was like, this is what I'm not okay with. And then I left his house after we made out. He turned on South Park, and we basically made out to South Park, and I was like, this is weird, but okay. Not really sure what the dealio is with guys that have to have background noise on to make out. Makes me think of Brandon's make out playlist, which makes me mad uncomfy. Anyways, so yeah, Michael and I made out at his house, to South Park for like 2 hours, and then I went home. And then after that, it was Waterboy. And then I went on a date with a kid. We went stargazing. And he's an engineer, he has a mechanical engineering degree, which is the superior engineering degree, but he works in civil engineering, so water. He cleans water for a living. I think I was with him for like 6 or 7 hours, and probably 75% of that was him talking about his job. Really don't care about engineering. There's a reason why I didn't go into it for a degree. Multiple. One of them is too much math. Second one is boring as crap. No, thank you. I'll just marry rich. Anyways, so yeah, we made out in a park. So funny. We're like laying on this blanket in the park, and there's some teenagers that come to the park, and they're walking, and some girl's like, "What is that in the grass over there?" 2 human bodies, but whatever. And they're like, I don't know, go shine your light on it, whatever. We're sitting there, we're like, we know they're talking about us, and so we're just like, my face was shoved into his shoulder, and I was trying so hard not to laugh. And then they were like, oh, it's people. And then the original girl goes, we're so sorry, you guys have a good night, we're going clear on the other side of the park now. And it was just so funny. Anyways, we did quite a few things. Like, so we went to this park that you have to like hike up to this like higher point that you can stargaze at, which was really fun. And then we had to hike down it, and then we went on the swings, and then we went on like the playground, and then we ended up swing dancing in the park, and then we ended up laying down on a blanket and talking, and then we made out on the blanket, and then we made out in the parking lot. And then he tried to get me to come over to his house. I didn't do it. Anyways, but and then the next night, okay, this sounds so whorish, but the next night I made out with another kid. His name's Maverick. I went over to his house. Sorry, I just started thinking about it, and I was like, I know where Dalton lives. I know where Michael lives. I don't know where Zach lives because I didn't go to his house, but I know where Maverick lives, and I know where Jeff lives. Guess I need to text Zach and go find out where he lives. Anyways, so brain. Oh, so anyway, so then the next night I go over to this kid Maverick's house. Maverick's a hoot and a half, and I'd love to go on another date with him. But brain. Oh, so anyways, I make out with Maverick because we're watching a movie at his house, and he gave me an apartment tour, and then he let me go through his wallet. I love when guys let me go through their wallets because I'm like, you guys have the most unhinged things in here, and they've been there for like 8 years too. Anyway, so it gets me, and it makes me giggle. Anyway, so so there's an important thing to know. I changed my Tinder bio. Probably that day, if not the day before, that said, manhandle me respectfully, in parentheses. And that was inspired because I was talking to my sister-in-law about how I wanted to get pushed up against a wall and make out with a guy. Like, I was like, I just think that'd be so freaking hot. And so she was like, yeah, put that in your bio. And I was like, I'll do it for the weird guys on the trip. Because at this point, I went on a date with Zach because I was trying to get my kiss count up for the girls trip so I could gossip about it, because I was going on the girls trip that weekend. I was leaving for it. And so anyway, so then Maverick invited me over and I was like, I'm gonna make out with him too for the girls trip. So then I was like, then there's 2 more boys to talk about on the girls trip, which makes my total 4 boys this summer. Anyways, so yeah, that happened. Anyways, so yeah, Maverick's a 2.5. We're supposed to go on another date, which I'm now like, let me text him. Like, I'm still waiting on that. Anyways, and then I came back from my trip, but I'd been texting this kid for a hot minute. His name's Jeff. Jeff texted me throughout the whole trip. Honestly, kept me highly entertained. Shout out to him. Jeff and I have been on 2 dates. They were technically 3. Because I went over to his house initially at 5 in the morning to have some pizza because I was hungry. We were on the phone. He called me after I got back after I made it to Idaho. Because I didn't text him for the 6 hours I was driving up there. And so he was like, oh, well, I missed talking to you. And so I unpacked while on the phone with Jeff, and then we just kind of let time slip away, and it was 4 in the morning, and then I was like, I'm hungry, and then he was like, come over for pizza, and I was like, okay. So I went over to his house for pizza, and then we made out, and then I was like, okay, got a blast, I gotta go to work. So then I left, and then I called him and I said, hey, I got off work earlier, do you want to go on our date earlier? And he was like, for sure. So then I drive over to his house, and he drives us to the pub, and we have a great time in the pub. We had a really hot waiter, which Jeff acknowledged. And then, and then we went back to his apartment and we made out, and then I left, and then the next day, I went to work, and I came home, and I was tired, and then I was thinking about the freaking turkey wrap that I had at the pub, and I texted Jeff. I said, thanks for ruining my life, because that turkey wrap was the best thing I've ever wanted, and there's no food in my house, and I was like, that's the best thing I've ever had, and there's no food in my house, and so all I'm thinking about is that stupid wrap. And he texts me, and he goes, is that you trying to be sneaky on getting me to take you to dinner tonight? And I was like, in all caps, I was like, no, I literally was just talking about how I had no food in my freezer, and I thought about the turkey wrap. And so he calls me and he goes, okay, where do you want to go to dinner? And I was like, I'm just gonna eat something that's like freezer burned in my freezer. That's not what I said, but that was the mindset. I was like, there's stuff in my freezer that I can eat. Like, it'll be fine. I'll go to the grocery store and be a grown up. And he was like, too late. We're going to dinner. Like, I'm already getting ready. And I was like, and so anyways, so then I drive to his house and he takes me to some restaurant. I can't exactly remember what it's called. Something common, maybe E8 something. I don't know. Delicious. A bomb burger. So free, and their french fries. Anyways, so yeah, we go to dinner, and then we go back to his apartment and we make up some more. So that's technically 3 dates with Jeff. They were all within like a 48-hour period though, so that's wild and crazy. And then Jeff and I decided that maybe we shouldn't, because both of us were trying to have a whole summer, and then I was like, it's not working for either one of us. And so then I was like, we can't have a whole summer. Like, I was like, I can't do this with you. And he was like, yeah, I agree, and I respect your boundaries, but I like being your friend, so I think we should be friends. So Jeff and I are now friends. And it's been real. It's been good. I definitely literally just went on a date with Jeff on Wednesday and Thursday night. That's what it was. It was Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, and then Thursday night. And then he went back to work. He works 12-hour shifts, I think. 4 days on, 4 days off. So he went back to work on Thursday. No, he went back Friday. So he works Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week, and then he'll be off again on Tuesday. And I'll probably see him again on Tuesday. But anyways, so yeah, that's the quick version. Oh, this is less than 10 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, there's like a lot of dirty deets with those stories, but I got it down to 10 minutes for you guys because I could yap about it. I really could. Truly could yap for hours because we all know I literally have Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I didn't forget anything super important. Oh, and then there's Ren. I didn't make out with him. Ren lives in Nebraska. So here's the thing. We were a little bit mean, and I started swiping right on a bunch of dudes on Tinder while I was driving from Utah to West Virginia, because for the record, where we started and where we ended in West Virginia, 25 hours there and back. But we did not take the easy way, because we definitely went to Ohio and Michigan as well, and so we went woo, essentially. And so we were in the car for over 25 hours one way. And then, the way back. And then, there was times that I was like, hey, I just saw a sign for this. Can we pull over and go see it? So yeah, definitely extended the road trip more than 50 hours. Sorry, friends, but thanks for being a champ. Love you guys, and I'd do it again. Anyways, so yeah, we were in the car for a really long time. So naturally swiping through Tinder in the States that we visited, and then having conversations. And so I had a really fun question where I asked guys what their worst pickup line was. And it was quite entertaining. Some of them gave good pickup lines, and others gave terrible ones, and others were really mean at my question. And I was like, okay. Anyways, so I did not ask Ren what his worst pickup line is. He actually started a conversation with me, I want to say, and so then I kept it going because I was like, look at this man putting in effort. And he was cute. And 6'4". And really nice. He's really nice. Anyways, and then I later found out that he's an engineer. 6'4", money, cute. Like, what more can a girl ask for? Anyway, so Ren and I are talking, and don't know if anything's gonna happen about it, but he's funny because most of the guys that later found out that I was not actually from their state and then I was just driving through it, they conversations died out. Like, some kept the conversation going for a couple more days and then gave up or whatever, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm not mad about that at all. But Ren has kept the conversation going. We recently he is like, so I made a joke about how so we drove through Nebraska day one. We actually stayed the night in Lincoln, Nebraska, and that's where Ren lives. And so I matched with Ren on our first day of the road trip, and then I talked to him through the rest of the road trip, and I still am talking to him. But our last day of the road trip, we stayed in Sidney, Nebraska, which is the other side of the state. So we drove to the eastern side of the state first day and stayed the night, and then we did the rest of our road trip, and then on the way back we stayed on the western side of Nebraska for our last night in a hotel, and then we drove all the way to Utah. It's 13 hours or something, or no, not from Sydney, it's 8 or 9. It was 13 hours no, that doesn't make sense. It has to be 8 because it was 13 to Lincoln. And it's 4 or something hours between Sydney and Lincoln. Anyways, not the point. Not really relevant. You guys don't need to know about the specifics of Nebraska. It's Nebraska. It's just corn, okay? Anyways, so Ren was like, oh, where are you staying? He was like, are you guys, safe? Are you in sketchy hotels? What's sleeping in the car? And I was like, oh, no. I was like, we're staying at Marriott's. I was like, I happen to have an inn for a discount. And so he was like, oh, that's super cool. He's like, my family always stays at Marriott. Anyway, Ren has been to 26 states or something like that. So I was like, love that. And we just had a lot of things in common. And so he's been to a few states that I haven't been to, and I'm so mad about it. And he rubs it in my face because I'm like, those are the ones I want to go to so freaking bad. And they're not last on my list, but they managed to make it to the last. I only have 7 states left, so the last few. Anyways, so so he found out that I had hotel benefits, and then I made a comment, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like part of it, I was like, I know I sound like a spoiled brat, I was like, I am, but I was like, at the same time, I've worked really hard for this goal, and also I was like, I have had the fortunate thing of getting flight benefits. So I was like, I definitely have traveled a lot more. And I was like, and honestly, it's kind of killing me to be in the car for over 50 hours with my friends, because I could be on an airplane across the country in like 6-7 hours. Like, I was like, this is a lot. Like, and so he's like, that's so cool. So I think Ren is pretty chill because, one, I'm a freaking hoot and a half, and he has realized that. But two, it wouldn't be very hard for me to go visit Ren. Also, he's never been to Idaho, and I keep telling him that he should come move, or not move. No, I would not tell someone to move to Idaho. That's not true. Idaho's not that bad. But I keep telling him he should come visit Idaho. I was like, get in the state and then come hang out with me. Anyways, but we also talked about how I used to live in Utah, and he goes, oh, I want to visit like all the national parks in Utah, and I said, well, let me tell you about the school I attended. Anyways, so always doing a plug for SUU, truly. I freaking love it there. Anyways, so we've been chatting about that, and then the other day but what I did was, so when we were driving back through Nebraska, I texted him the day before, and I said, hey, we're coming back through Nebraska. I said, any chance that you're available around this time frame, because that was the, like, we had planned that we were leaving the hotel at this time, which would put us in Lincoln at said time I asked him about. And he goes, I will be, I'm not going to tell you what he was doing. He was busy. It was his dad's birthday. I was like, that's a completely valid reason to not go on a date with me. Like, I was like, it's me at the last minute, this random chick that you met off the internet, like, versus your dad's birthday. Like, I was like, I can't be mad about it. And I told him that, but then I, made jokes about being mad that he wouldn't go on a date with me. And I was like, it's just a real blow to the ego. Wow, sorry. That you don't want to go on a date with me. Like, I was like, he went golfing. Okay, he went golfing with his dad, and I was like, you chose balls over overall. So I was like, seems kind of gay. And he took my gay jokes really well. He did. So shout out to him for being an absolute champ, because I'm completely unhinged and I crossed a lot of lines. And then he was like, no, I'd love to go on a date with you, whatever, right? So then something happened later, like a couple days later, and I've made a comment of, like, I was like, well, first of all, we live in 2024. We could literally, like, have a FaceTime date. Or I was like, we pick a weekend. I'll come visit. Like, you're looking for a vacation. Not that Idaho's, like, a vacation destination, but I was like, hey, like, what's one more state, right? What's one more thing to experience? What's a cute girl that wants to go on a date with you? Like, anyways, and so we've kind of talked about that. And then last night I was babysitting, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? And then I was like, blah, 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 whatever. Then we started talking about some of our favorite movies, and one of them, both of us love the Top Gun Maverick movie. And he named his dog Maverick. And he wants to get a second dog and name it Goose. And I was like, I'm obsessed with that. I think that's so funny. So anyways, and I was like, should I do it? I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of scared, so I texted the group chat, and naturally, they said yes, do it, so I did it, and I was like, hey, do you have a Discord, because we can sit on FaceTime call and watch a movie together, and he was like, I don't have a Discord. Well, I asked if he had a Discord, and he goes, no, I don't, but I have friends that have it, so I know what it is. Why? And I was like, we could do this, but I was like, I guess you don't want to go on a date with me, so whatever, it's fine. And I, like, cracked a joke. So anyways, we kind of talked about maybe doing, like, a movie date on FaceTime, so we'll see if that actually happens. I think it'd be so cute. But anyways, we've also talked about, like, because he was like, oh, well, there's this to do in Nebraska, and there's this to do, and then he, like, asked me about my favorite food, and he was like, this restaurant here, like, you really have to try it, whatever. And so, like, we've, like, talked about, like, things to do in Nebraska, and, like, places to go, and, like, things he'd want to show me. And so anyways, is anything gonna happen? Probably not, but I'm delusional and I think it's cute, so I continue to text him. But yeah, that's a hoot and a half. I made a joke. I was like, I'm gonna stay in a hotel so that I can have someone make me breakfast every morning when I come to Nebraska. And he goes, I'll make you breakfast. And I was like, that's so cute, but no. I'm not gonna sleep with you. So anyways, yeah, that's where I'm at in my life. Ren is at a golfing tournament this weekend with his friends. It's like having the most, like, boys weekend possible. I know, you guys, I know everyone's thinking golf is a red flag, but I golfed in high school, so I can't say anything about it because I actually like golf. But anyways, but yeah, he's having like this complete boys weekend, and he still takes the time to text me back, and I'm like, that's so cute. Anyways, I'm desperate for attention from boys, so, but my whole summer is coming to an end because Jeff and I both tried to have a whole summer, and we were like, we can't do this. So yeah, whole summer has ended. So now I'm just wasting my life texting Ren to only cry when he, like, you know, gets a girlfriend, because he literally will. He's 6'4", played football in college. Cute, funny, nice. Makes a lot of money. I mean, his biggest red flag. What did he say the other day? And I was like, that's the biggest red flag. Well, I told him that he likes math, and that's his biggest red flag. But then he said something last night, and I was like, no, that's your biggest red flag. Oh, he said he wanted to watch MILF Manor. He doesn't really want to, but he was like, if I was going to watch a reality dating TV show or whatever, he was like, it would be MILF Manor. And I was like, no, we're going to watch Farmer Wants a Wife together. That show's so awful, and everyone needs to watch it. Like, you cannot go your whole life not watching it. Anyways, but yeah, so that's Ren. We might watch something together. We might FaceTime IDK, but yeah, he's having a good time golfing. He texts me good morning every morning, except for yesterday, because I woke up before him, because I had to get up and be productive, and he was like, I don't have to get up till 9. He was like, it's so nice, because he was traveling for his golf tournament, so he took the day off. But yeah, so I texted him good morning, and then he was like, it's the first time you've woken up before me and sent me a good morning text. And I always reply to his good morning text with a good morning, and then I tell him, have a nice day, or ask him how he slept, or whatever, right? Like, so I never, like, not acknowledged his good morning text, but I'm like, it's so cute that he sends me good morning text. Anyways. I just need a boyfriend. That's actually, I told Jeff, I was like, I want a boyfriend. Like, I was like, I can't have a whole summer. Like, I literally just want a boy to, like, take me on a date and hold my hand and cuddle with me while I watch movies. So, send me a good morning text. So, yeah, whole summer's come to an end, but might make out with Jeff, because Jeff and I did say that it's not off the table, but it's, like, still up for discussion, but we're still gonna be friends. So I told him that he can buy me dinner anytime he wants, because I love me a free meal. Anyways, yep, I'm gonna stop this now, because I literally just spent like 12 minutes yapping about one boy, but it took me 10 to get through 5. Yeah, 5. It took me 10 minutes to get through 5 boys. So anyways, happy whole summer, everyone.